Hey everyone, Extra Life is looking for gamers.
Extra Life from Children's Miracle Network Hospitals raises money through gaming of all kinds. Every dollar raised stays local to help our children's hospital when they need it the most. Play games any day and fund vital life-saving equipment, charitable care, research, and more. For all the details on Extra Life, go to extra-life.org.
Connect with thousands of other gamers.
Play games, heal kids. Extra-life.org.
So, what'd you think of I forgot entirely the movie we just watched.
Secret of Kells?
The Secret of Kells!
Well, I remembered the name of it.
To be fair, I'm trying to remember the names of the other two movies in the in Moore's trilogy, and so I got Song of the Sea and Wolfwalker in there, and I got all confused.
Very well. I enjoyed it. Welcome, those of you who are joining us for the first time and wondering what the heck is going on here. This is You Want Me to Watch What? Typically, it is when my buddy Justin and I are watching movies together and talking about it, but Justin's on vacation for a bit, and so I'm joined by my spouse. She has recommended to me to watch The Secret of Kells, 2009
Cartoon
Saloon Irish movie about the making of sort of
kinda
the famous Book of Kells. So, why don't you tell us what it's about?
Well, it is the first of Tom Moore's Irish folklore trilogy, along with, like I said, Song of the Sea and Wolfwalkers. They're not really connected. It's not like, the Star Wars trilogy where, you have to watch each. They just more share the idea of the Irish folklore. But Secret of Kells, since we're not watching the other two today, set in 9th century Ireland in the Abbey of Kells, which is, kind of being constructed. The abbot has decided that because of the Viking, menace, they have put their abbey and the surrounding area inside of a forest, not on an island. Islands are too easily attacked. And they are building giant, walls around the Abbey of Kells. And so the abbot has pretty much become obsessed with these walls. And he's got a nephew, Brendan, lives with his uncle, gets into, little teenager shenanigans. But he has never left the abbey. He is forbidden from going past the walls.
It's dangerous out there.
It is dangerous out there.
And he has no sword.
And there's a mysterious forest. An incredibly beautiful mysterious forest.
Isn't there always?
Yeah, there is always.
It was absolutely wonderfully landscaped, though. that was geometric AF.
So. But, he's kind of interested in what's beyond the walls. Kind of, sort of. He's defending his uncle from the other people. It's like, your uncle's obsessed. And he's all like, well, it's for our protection. And the other monks are, kind of getting irritated. They want to, illustrate their books.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. They don't build walls.
They do not.
Although, let's face it, the abbot is jacked.
The abbot certainly was pulling his weight.
He is not sitting around while other people are building the walls.
No, he is not pharaohing this up.
But anyway, one day a famed illustrator and his cat, arrive at Kells. The island that he was on, the island of Iona, was overrun.
Mm-hmm.
Overrun by the Vikings. And he was the only survivor, escaped with the Book of Iona, which is an illuminated manuscript. One of those old manuscripts that have the varying intricate details and illustrations. It's supposed to be so beautifully illustrated that it blinds the unworthy and drives away the darkness. And so, Aiden and his cat take up residence at Kells. Brendan is fascinated by the book, and ends up, kind of overcoming some of his can't leave to go help find some berries to, make ink to continue work on this book. This book must be finished.
Yeah, like some kind of teenager.
Those teenagers always worried about illustrating books. Sneaking out of impenetrable walls to go, romp around a forest.
They must not have been very impenetrable.
There was a giant crack.
There was a big crack.
They just threw a tarp over it. Nobody noticed.
I see. I've played this game before, too.
So, Brendan and the cat.
That cat is no cat.
That cat is no cat.
That is some kind of spirit familiar, if ever there was one.
Aiden was very good at summoning familiar.
Clearly.
They go out into the forest, promptly get lost and attacked by wolves, because when you don't know how to forest, it's really easy to get lost in them.
He's never been there.
And they are saved by Ashley, a shape-shifting forest spirit, who pretty much, as a wolf, has the wolves back off, tells Brendan, okay, I'll help you get your berries or whatever, then get the hell out of my forest. Never come back. You and your cat.
Not a cat.
Not a cat. Cat.
I feel like Janet. Not a cat.
Not a cat. Well, while they're collecting the berries, he's learning things, experiencing the forest. They become friends. All is good. She's all like, hey, you can come back to the forest. But while they're out and about, they come across a evil place. Mm-hmm. The domain of the evil spirit Crom Cruach.
Easy for you to say.
And, Ashley, keeps Ashling keeps Brendan from going in there, pretty much chucks knocks over a big stone.
Mm-hmm. Don't go in there. It's dangerous. Don't go in there.
Well, it is dangerous. And she was right. You shouldn't go in there. So, Brendan starts learning from Aiden, gets back, says, hey, I found the things. He's in trouble with his uncle because his uncle finds out, hey, you're not supposed to go in the forest. I don't like you hanging out with this guy.
Yep.
As uncles are, I don't want you hanging out with this guy and drawing and writing in books. What are you, some kind of teenager?
You should be building walls.
You should be building walls.
Oof. Man, that doesn't age well.
That does not age well. And so, but Aiden starts teaching Brendan how to illustrate, and he's got a talent for it. And Aiden's like, if only you had, you need this eye, this crystal, magnifying glass to help you, really push your talent. You could see the designs on a green fly's wings. Mm-hmm. And dang it, got broken whenever he was fleeing from the other abbey that, the Vikings attacked. And Brendan recognizes it from whenever some of his visions as, oh, well, that was in Crom's cave there. Mm-hmm. And they talk about the mythology. It's like, oh, well, there's two different stories. One that said that the previous abbot had cried and created this thing, and the other one is that he had defeated this Crom in his own dwelling. Mm-hmm. And Brendan realizes, well, the demon thingy has two eyes. I'm gonna go get the other one.
It's very dramatic.
It is very dramatic. He gets locked in his room by his uncle. The forest spirit and the cat have to save him with a pretty song just out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. That turns the cat into a spirit itself, and he goes and does a thing.
Not a cat.
Not a cat. And, Aisling goes and she helps him get into, because she's like, okay, you need to fix this book, you need to finish the book and drive away the darkness, so I'm going to help you, even though this place terrifies me.
And seems to actively hurt her.
It actively hurts her to do this. And so she helps him get in, but she's unable to go into the cave with him. You kind of get the idea that in the moment that she may have been, killed at that time. And, Brendan goes in there, defeats Crom, rips out his eye. He, the thing, almost too easy, eats itself.
I mean, you'd think the guy had grown up playing Nokia Snake.
That's true. But gets out of the cave, finds out his friend's probably not dead. She left him a nice little flower path back to the abbey, but she's nowhere to be seen. He gets back there. He and Aiden work on the book. He's using the eye thingy. All is going great. Abbott's still kind of pissy. Am I allowed to say that on this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Vikings attack. And it's a bloody slaughter.
It does not go well for the monks.
It does not go well for the monks,
Or the
nor the
refugees.
refugees, or the people living there.
The buildings.
The buildings. There was the big tower, the giant phallic symbol in the middle of the encampment. That, that one stayed up.
Well, respect.
But Aiden and Brendan, escape with the book. They're gonna make it. Oh, hell no. There's Vikings in the woods. Turns out when you bind your book in solid gold and gems, that attracts Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, bait for what you want to catch.
Apparently.
You want to catch Vikings? Bait up in gold.
Bait up in gold. The Vikings rip out the pages because those aren't gold.
Those aren't worth anything.
Take the golden, cover. Get attacked by wolves before they can kill Brendan and Aiden. Brendan and Aiden go flee. They finish the book. Brendan gets older. Aiden dies of old age. The cat's still around.
Not a cat.
Not a cat. And eventually, Brendan finds his way back to the Abbey at Kells where, hey, Uncle's still alive. He's old. He got, hurt. But he's still alive, and he had kept a page that Brendan had illustrated.
Mm-hmm.
That, and they rejoice in the fact that the Book of Kells was finished, and credits.
End credits.
And, pretty Irish music again.
Pretty Irish music.
Pretty Irish music.
Pretty Irish poetry. I assume it's pretty. It sounded pretty, but I don't speak Gaelic.
I do not speak Gaelic either.
I don't even listen Gaelic. Not really. So...
But anyway, so what did you think? Just overall.
Overall, this is an absolutely beautifully illustrated movie about a culture of which I realize am only dimly aware.
Mm-hmm.
And a history that is so long that, so on the laptop, I have the whole thing is built around what's called the Cairo page of this Book of Kells. So on the laptop, I've brought up this is what the actual Cairo page
looks like. Yeah,
looks like. And so we can zoom in on the part that it showed Brendan making,
and it's just a
early
tiny
on, and it's this tiny little dot circle in this super intricate, way detailed, page of interwoven, strands and garlands, which is part of what I really loved about watching the movie, is that I've seen this page before. I've seen these kind of things, and that's what floods the background. It's in every single frame of the animation, is there's going to be something in that animation that harkens to this one page of the actual Book of Kells, and it's so well done.
Mm-hmm. So you can scroll in like you were on that one spot, and you see the inspiration that the artists in the movie took for the battle against Chrome.
I mean, you can see the dancing squirrels. You can see all the cats. Not a cat.
Not a cat.
But danged if that doesn't look like a cat. An angry cat, but a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. Voice acting was really good. I did not recognize a single name attached to it.
Nope.
Which is kind of unusual for me. Usually I know somebody. If it's not a student film, and this is not a student film, this had like 3 different countries worth of studios attached to it.
The Irish, French, and I think
Belgium.
French and Belgium, yeah.
But animation's gorgeous. The story is simple. It's not a very long movie.
No, well, about 70 minutes,
Yep.
give or take.
And I would have said it is really accessible to just about anybody until the Vikings showed up.
Yeah, that ending.
That part's really intense, and it's pretty scary. I'm fine. I'm a 43-year-old, dude that I'm okay. I will probably sleep through the night.
I think the man doth protest too much. It was scary.
Somebody might need to hold me. I don't know who we'll find for that though. But as it is, this one is a see it from me. I think that this is one of those movies where if you find it, I don't know about the other two in the trilogy, but if you were to find this somewhere, absolutely watch it. It's not a huge time commitment. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think that if you were to find it on Blu-ray, you would be better off than watching it streaming because
the level of detail.
I mean, we were watching on DVD, and you can tell that streaming is just not going to be able to quite match up with this. I don't care what they tell you about 4K streaming. It's just
this movie deserves to be seen in all of its little intricate glory.
Yes, it does. And there are so many details. So you got other stuff?
Oh, no.
Because I don't have anything else that I really want to bring out and say about it. I think that people should see it, and obviously you think people should see it.
I should think people. I was shocked that you hadn't seen it.
Just one of those movies that got pushed to the back of the list and then got pushed back again and pushed back again. Mm-hmm. I mean, shoot, I've got to watch Ben-Hur still sometime this week.
Good luck.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long one. So,
well, at least you got two good movies, though. Ben-Hur is a good movie. Mm-hmm. Now, it's no Secret of Kells.
It's no Secret of Kells.
Well, Secret of Kells does not waste your time.
4 Secret of Kells.
Secret of Kells does not waste your time. I can't think of a single moment in there that is a wasted moment.
No. Everything is either there to set a mood, further a plot, or develop a character.
Mm-hmm. Or develop the oncoming threat, because every time you cut away to, hey, what are the Vikings doing? Oh, yeah, that's evil Viking.
Viking's gonna Vike. So, all right, well, I think that means it's my turn next time if Justin's still on vacation. So,
oh, even if he's not still on vacation, it's still your turn.
Yeah. All right.